All right, joining us up, Steve Spohn. Steve, we've worked together, but maybe the audience, our audience anyway, doesn't know who you are and what you get to do and who you get to help and serve. So how do you typically respond to that? Or how do you typically answer that question?
I normally grab a bowl full of M&Ms and throw it across the room and go, how do you not know? Steven Spohn, the Steven Spohn. There's only like 6 of us on Google, and I'm the only fat one in a wheelchair. So I'm that one, okay? And then, I have to go pick the M&Ms up. It's really awkward, actually. I'm the guy that's usually running around the internet, helping raise awareness for a charity called Able Gamers. Able Gamers is the leading charity helping people with disabilities to improve their overall quality of life through the power of video gaming. That's what the lawyers make us say, but essentially, it is all about helping disabled people so that they can enjoy the experiences we all want to have in video games.
And why is that important? Some people might look at it from the outside and say, well, I mean, why do we need accessibility? I can kind of see it maybe a ramp to get in a building or like obvious things. But why does video games matter? Why does that matter?
Yeah, because video games are the ramp into the building of social convenience. So, in a world that was not built for people with disabilities, video games can be a window into an otherwise inaccessible world. We're talking situations that are not about sitting in the basement, eating popcorn, and just hanging out with yourself watching a video game. We're talking about hanging out with your friends, your sister, your brother, your mother, your daughter, your son. It could be any combination of humans that you want to spend time with, and maybe you can't go catch a ball, maybe you can't go bowling, maybe you can't go to the club because there's one stair outside of the building. Pittsburgh, I hate that fucking club. But it is one of those things where an obstacle in life could prevents you from enjoying those kinds of atmospheres. But in video games, we can all run, jump, role play just as same as one another as long as we have the technology to be able to allow us to access those worlds.
Yeah, so we get to interact with an event that your organization, Able Gamers, and our organization, Mount Sinai, come together with Logitech, who makes a lot of the different cameras and mice and things like that, all different technology. And that's the tangible bit of technology. Able Gamers, I feel like, is advocating for the people to have the software really be accessible. Logitech comes in with the hardware, and Mount Sinai, we come in with the human aspect of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, the hardware aspect is a little separate, and why Mount Sinai and Able Gamers needed Logitech is because Sinai and Able Gamers together worked on the social side of things. So we figure out where the ramps are, and Sinai figures out where the people need to be. And once you know where someone wants to be, and you help guide them to the place that's going to make them happy, and you figure out what technologies that's going to get there, it's sort of like assembling a Voltron of accessible partners. You need everything working together in unison, and you guide them there, and then that's how they ending up in a place where they can interact with society in a way that they want to, not the way that society wants them to.
I like that. Say that last part again.
I can't. I don't remember what did my brain just say?
Well, you were saying, essentially, you were saying, hey, you need to make sure this is accessible, make sure the environment adapts to the person and not necessarily the way around.
That's exactly right. A lot of places in society want disabled people to capitulate to what they need. So it's putting a ramp on the building so they can participate in a way that they do. But if you're someone who can't speak loudly, or you're somebody who is not able to go out in the current world state, or if you are somebody who is worried about getting sick because you're immunocompromised, you need a different way of accessing the world. And the great part about working with organizations with Cyanide and Logitech is that Able Gamers is able to come together in this Voltron kind of way to be able to get people with disabilities to the places that they want to go on their own terms.
So let's talk about this from the perspective of someone who's just learned about what Able Gamers does, and they're like, okay, this sounds like I want to look into this more. When someone comes to Able Gamers, what do they get access to, or what services and benefits do you provide?
Having the ability to speak to peer counselors who not only understand the technical side of things, but also have the lived experience. It is the one part of the puzzle that therapists are often missing from the equation, is that a therapist can be very book smart, and they can be very compassionate, very caring, very understanding people who have seen through their eyes what it's like to be disabled, but it is not exactly the same as having that lived experience of going through it yourself. And what Able Gamers does is take that combination of the very, very smart people like Jimmy, like David Petrino, like Andy Wu, who all have the book smarts and the lived experience of working with people with disabilities, then combines them with people like myself who have actually lived that experience and who can tell you firsthand, here's something you may not have thought of, or here's something that I went through, and man, yes, that is not the most fun part about living a disabled life, but here's how you get through it. And through the combination of that, it allows you to get back to that Voltron-esque combination of book smarts and street smarts to come together to figure out exactly what your problems are going to be and how you get around them.
Didn't think we'd have two different Voltron references in one conversation, but I like where this
couldn't
is
think of
headed.
another robot that comes together to work. Power Ranger. Yay! No, we're going to get sued. All right. Well,
let's see if we can get a third, but we'll make it come up naturally. All right. So on April 22nd, you guys are having an event, and the event is going to fuel, it's going to power, it's going to fund a lot of the things that we've been talking about in this last 5 minutes. Talk about that gala that you guys are putting on April 22nd.
I don't know if it's going to fund a lot of it because this is the very first year that we are doing it. We decided that there are a lot of cool real world experiences where you can go to Boston or LA or Chicago and meet all of your favorite people and support causes that you love, whether that is video gaming or comics or sci-fi-dom or whatever you have that you are a part of that community. Well, what if we did that in a charity experience? And what if we took that charity experience and we put it into the virtual worlds? So we decided to take the idea of Stardew Valley and smash it together in a Voltron-esque kind of way with Zoom did it. And now we have this combination where you can log into a website on April 22nd that is a virtual world of a gala. Imagine a hotel room with different rooms sectioned off for hanging out with your friends, for listening to music, for getting to meet all these cool content creators, all in a virtual world that you can access from the comfort of your own home. Wear your comfortable pants and not your suit, and be able to experience something without having to pay the $9,000 it would cost you to go to a real world event and without having to go out into the maskless wild.
I like that. Well done. We're going to put the full link below so people can find out how they can grab their ticket for the gala. The first time you're doing something like this, of the program, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to the most? Is there anything you're excited to actually interact with?
I mean, the whole thing is cool. There, and the thing is, we have a little bit of something for everybody. We have 2.5 hours of everybody's favorite content creators that are going to be walking around just among fans and being able to talk to people that you would never otherwise get access to at these kind of events. And you're going to be able to talk to them on a video camera with a microphone in real time and say hello, which I think is amazing. And if you're not into content creators and you're more on the medical side of things, we have a world premiere video coming at you, 10-minute video that I am just, Jimmy, I'm literally telling you that if you don't cry, I would give you $1 billion. It is that good. It is something that even you who are used to putting together amazing videos of your own are going to be proud of. And I know that all of your listeners will as well. If you ever wondered what it is exactly Able Gamers does, what exactly Mount Sinai helps Able Gamers do in video game terminologies, you're going to love this video. It actually shows you step by step what it's like to be a person with disabilities before and after the process.
I mean, all I heard you really say was it's access. You're giving access to people, access to experts, access to things they haven't gotten before. Very smart of you guys to make an event all about access around Able Gamers, which is about accessibility.
Trying to get everyone on the same even playing field as best we can.
This one totally personal. Feel free to answer however you want. What game are you into the most right now? What is taking up or consuming most of your time that you just dig playing?
Real life. Real life is a boss level right now. I'm trying to get past it in a Dark Souls kind of way. Just trying to get through the everyday grind. If I had to pick one thing right now, it's probably Marvel Snap. I cannot get enough of the card game in between meetings. It's a good little 2-minute time killer in between waiting on people to jump on calls, which I may or may not have done while waiting on Jimmy to start this call.
The Able Gamers first annual gala. Get your ticket now and do that at ablegamers.org. April 22nd. It kicks off at 4 p.m. Eastern, and it is quite accessible. Steve, appreciate you letting us have some of your time so we can assemble this video much like Voltron.
I appreciate that Voltron S number 5 reference.